kwa sababu ya kupata watoto wakiwa wadogo. Na hakika pia ni kwa sababu watu pia wamekuwa wakiwadanganya na wengine wanabakwa, Mheshimiwa Rais. Na katika vita vya HIV tunakuta kwamba vile ulivyosikia, mama akipata ama mtoto akipata mimba akiwa mdogo, sana sana haendi clinic kwa sababu ya aibu na nini. Kwa hivyo hata akimzaa yule mtoto na ako yeye mwenyewe na virusi vile, mtoto pia vile vile anapata. Kwa hivyo ni jambo ambalo tungependa kuzingatia na jambo ambalo tunakuhakikishia Mheshimiwa Rais, tutazidi kushirikiana na wahusikaji wote kuhakikisha kwamba tumerudisha namba hizi chini ili nchi yetu iweze kuendelea mbele. Kwa hayo machache, ningependa kukukaribisha uweze kutuzungumzia, nikikushukuru sana kwa kuwa nasi siku ya leo. Asanteni.
Asanteni sana na washukuru. Wenzangu hamjambo. Let me say that I'm very happy to join you here today in Nakuru County as we come together to commemorate this year's World AIDS Day. Indeed, we can recall that in the early 80s, a virus that was very unknown at the time was ravaging millions of people globally. But for us here in Kenya, we reported our own first case in 1984. And a decade and a half later, we declared HIV a national disaster. Since then, as a country, we have made significant progress in containing the virus, and contrary to the view held in the past that it was an insurmountable challenge, I believe we have made progress. And as we celebrate this year's World AIDS Day, we also come together to remember more than 2 million Kenyans who have lost their lives to AIDS. These Kenyans were parents, were children, brothers, sisters, and friends. But we also must recognize that even as we have lost the 2 million, as a country, we still have an estimated 1.5 million Kenyans who are currently living with HIV and whom we cannot forget and must continue to work together with them to ensure that they survive to live a lifelong, full life. Some of them have shared selflessly their experience in order to serve as a beacon of hope to others, that one can still enjoy a long and indeed fruitful life. I'm happy to note that our combined efforts as Kenyans has turned our country's story to one of hope rather than despair. Indeed, as the Principal Secretary has said, the number of AIDS-related deaths in 2013 stood at 58,456. This number has come down to some 19,486 so far, a reduction of 67%, but still accounts for loss of life. We are encouraged by this performance, attributed to the increase in the number of people on life-saving antiretroviral treatment that rose by some 83% from some 656,000 Kenyans to today, where we have 1,000,000 199,000 who are on antiretroviral drugs. Kenya's significant investment in HIV prevention has clearly borne fruit. Indeed, new HIV infections have been reduced by about 68.4% from around 101,488 to the current 32,027. Consequently, the HIV prevalence rate has come down from 6% to the current 4%. Kenya is among the African countries leading in achieving universal access to antiretroviral therapy for HIV management, and we also lead the pack in providing more optimized treatment regimes to prevent HIV transmission and to prolong the lives of our people living with HIV. We have also witnessed tremendous citizen selflessness through their voluntary participation, resulting in breakthrough. The most HIV studies for persons vulnerable to HIV. In 2014, my administration also introduced access to free maternity through the Linda Mama program, and as a result, from 57 to 20 anti-clinical attendance by 18%, where HIV diagnosis during pregnancy is a prerequisite for admission to the program. Because of this initiative, mother-to-child transmission rates, though still high, have reduced from 14% to 9.7% in 2021. Indeed, we must not relent until mother-to-child transmission is completely eliminated. As we all know, HIV response is resource intensive. Of domestic resources to HIV response from 18% to 38% currently. As a government, we are glad to note that our efforts in HIV response are bearing the intended fruits. The national trajectory is promising, placing Kenya, I believe, on a path towards eventually. And in this regard, to commend our researchers, policy experts, programmers, civil society organizations, and also our development partners for these achievements. Today, Kenya plays host and mentors many other countries on lessons due to the taken place. Our theme is to end teenage pregnancy, towards eliminating inequalities, as well as new HIV infections. This theme today is a call to action for our country to address what we have stated, and that is the recorded pregnancies in the country undermines Kenya's social economic development and negates the progress made to end HIV as a public health threat. Teenage mothers today are at greater risk of poor health outcomes, as we have heard from our two young people, just birth, and as I look to reaping the demographic dividend of our youth, the intertwined issues of HIV and AIDS, as well as teenage pregnancies, threatens to rob us of this promise. HIV-related stigma and persistent gender violence and decades of our response. And so today, once again call on all officers in national government and also in our county governments and also community leaders and all stakeholders to scale up context-specific solutions to end teenage pregnancies in the short term. Noted milestones. I am also aware that HIV response in Kenya faces many challenges. Indeed, the emergence of COVID-19 has shifted global attention away from other critical health issues such as HIV and AIDS. But as a government, we have taken measures to ensure that the gains made in HIV response are safeguarded. We recognize that HIV remains one of the world's most significant public health concerns, and what is more of our concern, proportionately impacts those poor, marginalized children, men. The epidemic continues. Therefore, we must sustain the gains, accelerate progress, and bridge the gaps that stand in the way of eradicating this pandemic. Allow me to note that every year, Kenya requires 25.4 billion to procure HIV and years. Is okay. One country. Health and the National Treasury to jointly work on a solution to secure the essential HIV management and prevention commodities and other strategic public health programs. In particular, the country must now explore options for partnerships for local contract manufacturing of these commodities so that we are in a position to continue helping our people. I have also further taken deliberate efforts to reform the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency to ensure that our supply chain remains efficient and effective in delivering these essential commodities to the last mile. Ladies and gentlemen, a healthy workforce underpins the sustainable social economic development of any country. And we acknowledge that the development of our country will not be fully realized if preventable diseases persist unchecked. In recognition of the foregoing, my administration will continue to prioritize investments in the health of our people by bringing services and facilities closer to them. Over the last few years, we have tried to stay true to this commitment of the universal health coverage. We are invested in human resources, state-of-the-art medical equipment, and increased the number of health facilities in all our 47 counties. Indeed, today the total number of public health care facilities have risen from 4,430 to 6,342. We have also seen our human resource for health over the same period of 8 years increase by an extra to 74,172. With this increase, we are better able to remember that prevention remains a key strategy for addressing not only HIV, but also other health challenges. Prevention is better than containment or cure. Each member of society should be a public health ambassador, advocating for the safe and responsible behaviors that will lead us to victory over preventable diseases such as HIV/AIDS, COVID-19, amongst others. Together we can surmount any challenge, but only if all stakeholders play their respective roles. And once again, today I thank the county government and the people of Nakuru for hosting us here today. I also appreciate the efforts by the Ministry of Health, the National Council of Population and Development, and all concerned parties. And on behalf of a grateful nation, I also, most importantly, wish to salute all our healthcare workers for the excellent work and resilience that they have shown. Funga. Niwaulize Wakenya wenzangu kwa heshima kuu. Mmesikia watoto hapa wakiongea. Ni aibu sana kwetu sisi tukiwa wazee na viongozi pia wetu kwa sababu ni aibu kubwa jameni, ni aibu, ni aibu, na siwezi nione ni kwa njia gani mwanaume yeyote anaweza kuweka kichwa yake mbele akiwa amefanya madhambi kama yale wametendea msichana kama huyu. Na ni vizuri sasa tuanze kuambiana ukweli. Ni vizuri tuanze kuambiana ukweli. Kwa sababu watoto, sio watoto wanajiharibu, ni sisi wazee ambao tunaharibu watoto. Hiyo ndio ukweli. Na heshima, na unatembea na mtoto ambaye ni mdogo hata kushinda your own daughter, mdogo kushinda ule wewe umezaa. Alafu ujiite mwanaume. Wewe ni mwanaume wa saa ngapi bwana? Wewe ni mwanaume wa saa ngapi? Si uende utafute mwenzako kama umechokeshwa na ule uko naye nyumbani. Kwenda utafute rika yako uachane na watoto jameni. Utafute rika yako. Sio kwenda kutafuta watoto wa nyumba ingine. Ama ni namna gani jameni? Kwa sababu hata vile binti hapa amesema, tubadilishe tabia zetu. Ukijua uko na mzee ambaye ako na hizo tabia, mweke kwa soko, muanike hapo mbele ya watu, angalia huyu. Hebu muone huyu. Anatembea na watoto wa shule. Hiyo ndio njia ya kusababisha mtu apate aibu, awachane na tabia hizo. Ama ni namna gani? Tusiruhusu tuendelee na mambo haya jameni. Watoto wetu ni baraka yetu kutoka Mwenyezi Mungu, ambao watatuchunga sisi siku za usoni. Tukiwa sisi sasa jameni ndio tunawaharibu, si hata sisi tunajiharibia. Kali saidia. Hii ni wewe na wewe na wewe, saidia. Saidia. Ndio tuweze kukomesha mambo haya na tupatie watoto wetu nafasi ya kukua na kuwa wananchi wazalendo ambao watajenga taifa lao, na kuwa na nafasi ya kufanya mema huko mbele, ambaye hata sisi wakati tutakuwa tumeshindwa na kazi ndio watakuja kutuchunga na kutulinda. Si ni hivyo wenzangu? Kwa hivyo mimi hiyo siongei, na hiyo ni yetu hapa wa Kenya. Tujiulize hiyo watoto wetu, na tujue ya kwamba kuchunga watoto wetu ni kujichunga pia. Because if you protect your future, you are protecting yourself. But if you destroy your future, you're also destroying yourself. Kwa hivyo mkiona hiyo wazee wakitembea na huko, anzeni kusema mnaona ule mzee ule, ndio aone aibu. Akienda kanisa hakuna mtu anataka kukaa karibu na yeye. Akienda kwa soko hakuna mtu anataka kumkaribia. Akienda kwa matatu kila mtu anashuka, anasema wachanani na huyu. Hiyo aibu ndio itasababisha huyo mtu awache hiyo maneno. Kwa hivyo, kwa hayo machache na mengi, nasema Mungu awabariki. Mungu aendelee kuibariki taifa letu la Kenya, na sisi zote tuungane pamoja na tuhakikishe ya kwamba mengi. Nasema asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Unyenyekevu mwingi, nitaomba ujumuike nami mahala nimesimama saa. Niombe katibu pamoja na mwenyekiti na CEO waje karibu ili tumpe nafasi, tuketi tafadhali. Tumpe Mheshimiwa Rais nafasi ya kuzindua rasmi ripoti endelezi ya ugonjwa wa ukimwi makala ya 2021. Your Excellency sir, we shall face the screen sir without kindly we clear. May we have the video?